It's a great pleasure to welcome Discovery to What's Next, and it's a great pleasure to welcome Hylton Kallner, who's the CEO of Discovery Bank South Africa. And I know Hylton for many, many years. You've been at Discovery for a long, long time. And I guess that even before we started talking about a bank at Discovery, that wasn't on the radar when you and I started chatting many years ago about marketing stuff, right? Can you believe that we are here today with a bank at Discovery?
Yeah, Aki, we've come a long way, and it's been an exciting journey.
We've seen some very interesting developments happening. I mean, many physical bank branches are really closing down, both nationally and globally. And this has kind of been the trend that's been accelerated by COVID-19. And the pandemic has had a tremendous impact, not only on banking, but just business in general. And I want to ask you, why do you believe that people are moving away from branch-based banking, and how does this further Discovery Bank's position as the future of banking? Because I'm not aware that you have any branches.
So technically, we've got one branch, which is at our head office.
Okay.
But in reality, every one of our clients has got a branch in their hand. The mobile phone is the branch of today, and from an efficiency perspective, it really makes sense in terms of being able to offer our customers a better deal, a more efficient product. But from the customer's perspective, it makes so much sense because they can do everything that they need to do without having to be constrained to branch hours, travel, waiting in long queues. None of that is applicable any longer. And you can actually do so much more at a much lower cost. So it just makes absolute sense. And that's why we see it as the future. And it really is playing out that way across the whole world. I mean, what's interesting is our customers are using our services, and while you can pretty much do everything on the mobile or on your sort of your desktop or tablet, we also offer a 24/7 call center and contact center that is really state of the art, and we see that about 40% of banking is done after hours, or outside of traditional branch hours. So on the weekends, late at night, that's where a lot of the transactions are being done, and in fact, not just transactions, but actually opening bank accounts. So people open bank accounts at all hours. They're no longer constrained by the need to visit a branch at all. And it's just so much more convenient and it makes so much more sense.
No, absolutely. I mean, I can't remember, as you were talking, I can't remember the last time I actually went into my bank or any bank for that matter. It really has become that way, as you quite correctly state. Now, many South Africans are currently unbanked. And how does digital banking reduce the barrier of entry into the banking sector for these prospective clients? Because I guess that must be a massive market that's untapped.
Yeah, it is a massive market. I think that we see our products playing across the entire spectrum. So we've got a really sort of sophisticated private banking relationship banker-based product. But at the other end, we use our technology to offer a very, very low-cost, super efficient product. And while you might think that people in rural areas or sort of further out of sort of the urban centers are more constrained in a digital world. In fact, that's not the case. That's not the case at all. What you find is that, first of all, smartphone penetration is incredibly deep in South Africa. But the other thing is that people underestimate the cost of transport. So for somebody that's living far out, the reality is that to do banking electronically is so much more convenient and so much more cost effective. So if you can offer them a bank account on their mobile, very, very simple to use, very efficient, that is a great solution in terms of just having a much more inclusive banking system. The other thing that it obviously cuts down on is the need for cash. We can now facilitate real-time payments at literally the sort of the touch of a button at almost no cost for our clients. And so you never need to actually pay somebody in cash. They can have the money in their bank account in seconds at virtually no fee.
Well, that's a pretty compelling argument, and I guess all of these savings that you're talking about, you're passing them down on your customers, and it's making banking cheaper for them as well. Now, one of those key considerations that South Africans have when deciding, for example, on who to bank with is customer service. We hear about the customer experience all over the time. Now, as a digital bank, how does Discovery Bank provide superior customer service to traditional alternatives? And I know you touched on that support line that you've got available at all times, but I guess the customer experience is extremely important for Discovery Bank.
Yeah, absolutely. So we see ourselves as a full service bank. So I think that there's often the connotation of a digital bank being sort of light on service, that and predominantly self-service. Now, digital banks and our digital capability and mobile first capability has to be really sophisticated so that our clients can do all of the kinds of transactions that they'd expect, drawing statements, getting certified statements or documents. All of that is available on our app. So it's really easy and accessible. But we have got a 24/7, 365 contact center of bankers who are available to our clients. We've also developed new technology called Live Assist. So our bankers can actually see where our customers are on the app in real time, and they can guide them through that process with sort of a virtual cursor that we've developed. So you could call our call center, say, I'm really struggling with a specific aspect or to do a specific kind of transaction. They can see the screen simultaneously with you. You give consent for them to view the screen. They can't make changes on your phone. They also can't see anything else on your phone at the same time. So it's completely private. And we, in fact, mask confidential information. So like your PIN numbers, for example, our call center agent can't actually see. Those are masked for them, but they can see the rest of your screen, and they can actually guide you. So they can say, listen, go to the top right-hand corner of your screen, and you'll see the cursor move, and you just click on it, and they guide you literally step by step through it. So it's literally like having a banker in your house with you, walking you through the process, talking you through the process, and showing you in real time. So the capability is actually far better than you could have ever had before. And that gives a really, really great service experience to our customers.
Yeah, and it's so important, I guess, in every sphere of business today. I mean, the concept of a digital bank, it may be overwhelming to many South Africans who are not particularly tech savvy. I mean, I look at my parents, I look at some of my friends, they're still getting the hang of working with a smartphone. How does Discovery Bank make banking easier for these kind of people? I mean, I was looking at your user interface, for example. I'm tech savvy, and I found your user interface incredibly easy.
Yeah, so I think the user experience is designed to be really intuitive, to be able to do the kinds of things that you didn't even expect in a banking app. So if you want to buy airtime or pay your water and electricity, all of those things are designed in literally a couple of clicks to be really accessible to the customer. So the entire experience is tested, it's retested with our customers. We get their feedback. We work through the issues. We use a lot of data and analytics, particularly in our call center, to understand what are the things that are causing our customers to get stuck in the app. And then we rework them, and literally until a query doesn't arrive, we continuously sort of iterate to make it simpler and simpler, and look at every single breakpoint. And the data that we have today helps guide us to exactly where the breakpoints are in any journey, and be able to sort of smooth them out. We also, and the technology is phenomenal. We can see where customers are literally looking on the screen at any point in time.
Wow.
And therefore, you can place the buttons in the most convenient and intuitive place. So it's those kinds of refinements that people don't even really feel, but they're happening behind the scenes all of the time to make it easier. We also find that, with older clients, the ability to have a call center is crucial, and to be able to talk them through the processes and guide them through technology like I spoke about is really an important part of sort of helping them navigate what would otherwise be quite a foreign environment.
Yeah, I find that your development team quite fascinating. The stuff that's happening in the background, as you alluded to, and the subtle changes that you make to really make that user experience a lot more seamless is fantastic. That you guys keep changing and innovating all the time. Now, Discovery has a reputation for innovation, particularly when it comes to providing shared value through unique features, for example. Now, how was this focus on incentivizing your clients translated into increased value for Discovery Bank clients?
So the beauty of our shared value model is that we use nudges, we use behavior change to create incentives that are good for the customer and ultimately good for us. And in the case of banking, the model is exactly the same. In healthcare, it's quite intuitive. If you go for a run, that you're getting healthier. You should have a lower probability of a heart attack or cardiac risk. And so over time, the sort of your medical scheme claims or life insurance should come down. In banking, it's actually exactly the same. The key risk in banking is sort of bad debts or defaults, having insufficient savings to pay your debts at any point in time. And so what we've seen is that there are a few distinct behaviors, sort of spend less than you earn, have a fund available for specific kinds of emergencies, have insurance in place for the really large catastrophes. A few simple behaviors that if you follow them, you actually find that regardless of income, so almost sort of income agnostic, people that follow those behaviors have a much lower risk for the bank. And so the individual will save more over time, but for us as a bank, we have much lower defaults. So we're able to take that value that's created in the system as a whole and give that back to the customer in areas like better interest rates, so you can earn more on your savings that sit with us, better borrowing rates, so you sort of pay less when you do borrow, and a whole host of amazing rewards that get passed back to clients, like massive travel discounts and healthy food discounts, and our currency of miles, which is an incredibly powerful rewards currency in itself.
Yeah, I love the way you gamify it. And Hylton, if you, for example, are a Discovery, health insurance customer, you've got Discovery Life, for example, you've got Discovery Insure, for example, does that impact the benefits and the reward program that you would get from Discovery Bank? In other words, the more Discovery products you have, does that affect you at all in the tiers that you were speaking about?
Yeah, absolutely. So it manifests in a few different areas, but one of the really interesting areas is that you can earn more miles. Our miles are sort of worth 10 cents per mile as you earn them, and you earn them through things like exercise. You can earn them through spending on our card, and through driving well. So all of the kind of behaviors that we try and incentivize, we monetize through the miles. But then what's really interesting is that you can go online, shop at any of our partners, and we integrated fully with a number of the most sort of common kind of online partners that you would use, like a Takealot or a Yappy Chef, or an iStore online. When you go online and you spend miles at those partners, the discount, you actually get a discount off the price that you pay of up to 40%.
Wow.
So the miles are worth more than cash. So when and the discount is based on how many products you've got with us. So essentially, the more invested you are with us, the more value you can derive, and the better the value is when you actually go to spend the miles. So that's been an incredibly sort of popular feature of the program.
That's fantastic. Now, the Discovery Bank, you mentioned, offers cash in its clients' pockets through its shared value offerings, right? Now, however, this is not all that these products represent. They also, you're encouraging your clients to exchange their behavior for better. Could you explain the 5 controllable behaviors that Discovery Bank helps its clients learn and why they're important? Because everyone talks about the behavioral bank here. So what are those behaviors?
So the first behavior is probably, I suppose, quite intuitive. It's to have ongoing savings. So essentially, sort of spend less than you earn, and that's probably quite intuitive. The second is to have an emergency fund of cash available that for unforeseen kinds of costs, things like medical costs that may emerge, or a car that breaks down and has to be repaired. And so having an emergency fund, and typically we recommend up to about 3 months worth of salary. That in our experience and our analysis is sufficient almost to sort of smooth out any kinds of negative cash flow that our customers experience. The third is to have insurance in place against catastrophic costs. So have a medical scheme, have motor insurance if you're in a bad accident, have disability insurance in place if you can't work for a period of time. So those insurances are important for the sort of the more catastrophic kinds of costs. The third is to save towards retirement, and have a sort of a clear path to that. And then the fourth is to effectively have your property paid off by the time that you retire. And if you manage according to those five categories, then in our experience, you will retire with sufficient funds, securely, and along the way you'll be able to service all of the debt and any debt that you may have incurred. And so, those are the behaviors. They sound relatively simple and intuitive, but often it's about the information that you give to the customers, the behaviors, making them real, because nobody really likes to budget. That's not or at least not in my household. And so what this does is, as you say, it gamifies the entire experience.
Well, fantastic, Hylton. I mean, it makes perfect sense what you're saying. And I guess that if you have all your financial affairs in order and you plan for the future, there's less risk, there's less stress to everyone. Now, Discovery Bank defines itself as the future of banking. What can your clients expect from Discovery Bank moving forward? And what are you going to be providing going forward in terms of more value, etc.? And I guess that it's you're still quite young. I mean, how old is Discovery Bank, firstly, and what are you planning to do in the future? You can't be more than 2.5 years old, if I remember correctly. I remember being at the launch.
Yeah, so we're actually less. I mean, we're just about 2 years old now.
Wow.
And the bank is growing incredibly strongly. We've got over 650,000 accounts that our clients have opened with us. We've tried to reimagine the entire experience from start to finish, so you can open an account in a couple of minutes without any pay, any time of the day or night. Literally by sort of just downloading the app, taking a selfie. We integrate all of the data behind the scenes in order to KYC the client and open all of their accounts. The payment systems that we've employed are state of the art. You can use Apple Pay, you can use Samsung Pay. You can use all of the sort of contactless payments that are available. So we've really sort of thought about how it's easier to pay people. We've used your contact list on your phone as the sort of the basis of being able to simply pay any one of the other Discovery members in our ecosystem without even knowing their bank account details.
Yes.
So as long as they're a Discovery member, you just look them up on your contacts and you'll be able to pay them. You'll be able to pay them directly. So we've made the entire sort of payment system a lot easier. Then what we've done is we've given absolute control of the accounts to our customers. So you can set the limits that are applicable to every one of your accounts, how much can be withdrawn for security purposes, online, at ATMs, domestically, internationally. All of that can be set up. So it gives the customer just a much greater degree of control in terms of the accounts. We are fully domestic at the moment, but we've just received our sort of Forex dealer license. That's just been approved. Is really hard at work, looking at how we can reinvent sort of foreign currency account savings for our customers. So that's a really sort of exciting initiative that's on the way. And then, as you've said, the rewards that we offer are fully gamified, simple to use on our what we call our reward stack, which is essentially a stack of rewards that you can see on the mobile, on the face of the mobile. Tells you how much discount you get for a flight when you get your healthy food at Pick n Pay or Woolworths, and the interest rates that you earn. It's completely transparent, and you can just keep on opening more and more savings accounts with us at absolutely no cost. So you can manage your money very, very efficiently. So the entire experience from front to the end has been really reimagined, and then we've underpinned it all by really sophisticated data analytics. So at the touch of a button, all of your expenses that you've incurred with us can be categorized into all of the different categories. You can see over the last 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, how much you've spent in every area, and then set budgets and targets on the basis of it. So giving our customers really sophisticated data analytics capabilities through the technology that we've developed. So it really is a very, very sophisticated offering.
And really building on in terms of value and what you guys have already created. I think that this journey has been absolutely amazing. Not even 2 years old, Hylton. It's extraordinary how far you guys have come with 650,000 customers. I guess that my final question to you, Hylton, is when you guys imagined that Discovery would have a bank and you'd start building and constructing this bank, which has been a journey as you've discussed with me. I just want to ask you, in your experience running the particular bank, what you guys planned for and the behavioral stuff, etc., that you were expecting customers to do. Have you noticed, and has anything really surprised you about the banking industry, about how your customers are banking, something that you weren't expecting to see before the bank actually started? Is there anything that's surprised you on this journey so far?
I think the speed at which customers have embraced a digital bank has really been probably far greater than we ever expected. Partially, probably because of the COVID environment, also.
Yes.
But if you think about it, if you take a step back and you go back 5 years or 10 years, there was an assumption that people always wanted to bank between 9 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. But that's not the case. The second that you give them the ability to bank when it's convenient to them, you find actually they're banking after hours and on weekends and when it makes sense for the customer. So we've seen massive increase in online shopping, and the digital bank works perfectly in that context. We've seen a huge increase in contactless payments. So Apple Pay, just use your phone to tap and pay, or your Apple Watch to tap and pay, or just the card to tap and pay. About 50% of our payments are completely contactless
Wow.
today. So that's really been exceptional. Real-time payments, I think, have also far exceeded our expectations. About half of our payments are made in real time. So it's not like waiting to the next day for the money to be received by the person that you're paying, or the end of day to transfer between banks. Our customers are paying their sort of their bills and their accounts, and making transfers to their peers in real time. And about 50% of our payments are real time payments. And they any time of day or night, if you need to make a payment to somebody on our system, you do so, and it's in their account in seconds. So that's really been astounding. So I think there's so many different aspects to it, that when you give customers the tools and the capabilities to do things in a way that's just so much more convenient for them, you find that they gravitate towards it, and that's what we're experiencing.
Fantastic. Shaping the future of banking, Hylton Kallner, who is the CEO of Discovery Bank South Africa. Thank you so much for joining us on What's Next. That was absolutely fascinating listening to your story, and may you guys grow from strength to strength. Thanks for your time, Hylton.
Thank you, Aki. Really appreciate it.